All right, no time to explain, gang. Welcome back. King Zeph here, back with another video for you guys. Happy Friday. Been away for a little while. A lot of things kind of been really kind of going on that side. I was a little sick, and I was also waiting on shipment of stuff because, you know, things don't ship on time or things get delayed and a bunch of other fun stuff. And also I had to wait for release dates and all that other fun stuff. So we already did this like, you know, a week and a half ago, and that's actually part of it is my fault because I was actually able to get a booster box of Blazing Dominion a little bit earlier than I usually did, because I think I released a video the day of the actual pre-release, or the day I was participating in the tournament, which, fun fact, hold on one second, I'm gonna actually step out of frame here. Yeah, boy, did bring home a playmat, so I actually did well at locals. So that worked out for me quite well, so all that other fun stuff. And it's funny, what deck did I play? I played Dark Magicians because I couldn't play Elf Notes because I didn't have 3 Reginas. I was going to play Elf Notes, but of course, likelihood of me getting 3 secret rares of Regina, it was very astronomically low. Although I technically could have, because I did pull 2. I pulled the Starlight rare and then a regular one. I just chose not to play it because I don't want to get a 3rd one and all the other stuff. And I think I'm still missing a couple cards anyway, so I just chose not to play it. I chose to play something that I pretty much knew like the back of my hand, and it actually got me far. I didn't win locals, but I was in the top 3, so I was able to take home a playmat. But regardless, with it being Friday, and pretty much the weekend and everything, time for the super long video. Well, not super long. I'm over exaggerating. The super long video was the case opening from Rarity Collection 5. Check that out if you haven't watched it already. But per usual, like we always do at every core set, our longer videos, we have a classic game of Blisters versus Boosters. I don't know why I reverse these order. I grabbed the booster box first instead of blister packs. Blisters versus Boosters. So we're gonna do what we always do with every main set. We're gonna put 24 blister packs against 24 packs out of a standard booster box. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I'm happy to see you guys. Welcome. I love to see you guys some more. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and all that other fun stuff if you'd like to see content like this. Want to see more content? My name is King Zeph of No Time to Explain. Myself and my brothers and my sister, we all talk about anime, gaming, and mostly Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, along with some Lorcana and a couple other things on my side. But regardless, if you're new to the channel and never seen a Blister versus Booster video before, or if you are returning to the channel, like you're a subscriber or you're just coming back to watch and want to see what happens, this is a game that I like to play where I put the pull rate of a booster box versus a 24 blisters. Now, the rules are simple. Whichever one has the better ratios or the highest value pulls will win. Now, the box is a set ratio. The box is guaranteed to have 2 secret rares, 4 ultra rares, and the possibility of a Starlight rare. Thank God I didn't say QCR. I was going to say QCR. I had to think about that for a second, but we have Starlight rares. Soon to be full arts in the next core set. No, actually, no. Battle of Legends has the next set of full arts, but the next core set will actually be the first core set to actually feature the full art cards. So that will be coming, I believe, in July. But each booster box has a potential of a Starlight rare. There should be 3 or 4 per case if memory serves me correctly. So the box itself is going to be a locked ratio. We're going to get 2 secret rares. We're going to get 4 ultra rares, maybe a Starlight rare. The blisters are random. We don't know what we're going to pull out of them. We don't know what cards are going to go. We could pull nothing, but honestly, chances are low. We could pull all secret rares. We could pull all Starlight rares. Chances of that happening are very, very low, but we have the opportunity to pull multiple than we would out of a standard booster box. So we're going to pull out of the booster box like we always do first. We're going to set the standard, see what we pull out of the booster box, and then we're going to pull from the blister packs and see if we hit ratio, and whichever one has the higher value pulls will win that one. But of course, if the blisters happens to have a higher ratio or the God pulls, it will win this battle. I think in the history of all doing blister versus boosters, I think Blisters has only won 2 or 3 times. It's not one hand. For the most part, blisters have generally lost. They either come swinging, they match ratio, or they just don't make it at all. So it's a crapshoot. We're gonna see how this is gonna turn out. Hopefully, maybe with the new set and everything, maybe a fresh set of hands. Maybe for once, blisters will pull out and take another W. We don't know. And I think it was funny because when it did win, it was like there were both QCRs in each one, but there were more secrets and the high value secrets in the blisters than there were in the booster box. So it was crazy. I believe that was Phantom Nightmare was that set. So you can go back on the channel and look at that video. There's a whole playlist of blister versus boosters. If you guys just want to see all of those videos, you can check them out and see how those results kind of panned out. But for that, we're going to go Also, for the pure fact is, if the value isn't fully there, of course, if we have an astronomical amount of pulls, I generally give a little bit more leeway to the blisters. So if we pull like 6 ultras, it generally will count as 1 secret rare. Granted, the secret rare values in the booster box, or the secret rare we pull out of one of them, is of a higher or lower value. So like, if, for instance, if the booster box pulls Fredolius Harmonia and Dominus Spark, Blisters is gonna have a hard time. If Blisters pulls one of those cards, it's gonna pull out ahead, because those are the top value secret rares and or Starlight rares on that side as well. So let's get this thing going. Oh, and one last thing, I have to give a shout out to, per usual, sometimes I forget, I have to give a shout out to our channel affiliate, Hobbyville. Got the booster box, got all my blisters from Hobbyville. They're my favorite e-tailer in terms of buying TCG product. They do have a brick and mortar store. They're a Canadian company, so everything comes from Canada. But for those that live in the US like I do, all orders $175 and up actually have free shipping, and they don't charge sales tax. And so that's one of the biggest reasons I love them. And also, they generally sell some of the stuff a little bit cheaper than you find at your local store. If you have not shopped with them before, there's links in the bio below. If you are a first-time purchaser, you can use the code NT2E to save 5 extra %. Not only will you save money on your product, it also helps me out, because all of you guys that show out for the affiliate links, which I really appreciate you guys for doing that, because that actually helped pay for the case of Rarity 5, and it also will help pay for the case of Chaos Origins. You guys have been really blowing up the affiliate links for the past couple months, so I really appreciate it, but it helps me purchase stuff for the channel for you guys. So definitely check them out. I highly recommend using them. That's a service that I stand by 100%, and a retailer that I stand by 100%. I generally don't recommend anything, because I want you guys to save as much money as possible, because TCG product is expensive, especially with Pokemon. Things are really expensive. So if it's some way for you to save money, as well as something that you can get reliable product from, I'm going to always recommend that to you guys. So that is one of our main affiliates on the channel. I love them to death. They always support it. And of course, the next video, which is going to be the blister challenge, I got those from there, because I actually purchased like a lot of blisters from them. So yes, so check them out whenever you guys get a chance for any of your TCG needs. Now, let's get this thing going. So Blazing Dominion, we've already opened 1 box. So we're going to be opening the second one. Of course, I don't have my fancy knife. I don't know where it is. It ran away. And ironically, I wouldn't be surprised if I woke up with it in my back or something crazy, from either a ghost or somebody just wanting to just play a cruel prank on me in the house and possibly murder me. So eventually it'll turn out. We'll find it. We'll go back to seeing the Batman knife and a couple other things on the channel. Now, ironically enough, there's still a bunch of cards in here that I do need. Sadly, all of them are high rarity. Like, pretty much every card I need in this set is a secret rare. There's a couple ultras, not many of them, but everything is pretty much a secret rare. And I actually did pull out of my packs for participating in the tournament for the premiere. I did pull Harmonia. I do have one for Fredolius Harmonia. I think I was the only person in local that pulled it. And of course, I had a couple people at my store like, hey dog, let me get that off of you. And I'm like, nah. I literally sat there and said, hey, there's 2 cards in this set that that are non-negotiable, and they're not going anywhere. And clearly one of them was Harmonia. And their first pack magic, first ultra rare, Doomsday 13 over on Graphio. This is actually one of the cards I needed. I need to double check to see how many of these I really need, because Doomsday is turning out to be one of the more meta contending decks of the new format with this set, which is really nice. I do have most of the Doomsday cards. I think that's the only one I really needed, because that is a deck that I do need to learn to play. I've seen some gameplay of it. It has a very interesting setup, and I did like it initially. I just didn't actually take the time to study it, because also the deck wasn't that good back then, but now it's much better now. So I will be studying a lot more, just like I've been studying Elf Note more. But Elf Note doesn't become more powerful until Chaos Origin. That's when that set becomes. That's when that that deck becomes way overpowered. Is basically in July. So that's going to be when that time comes. But for now, I'm enjoying the deck in Master Duel, because they did put Elf Note Master Duel last week. So I've been getting a lot of good practice with it and learning a couple more lines that I didn't know. The only advantage of Master Duel is that we have like Barone and a couple other cards where you don't have it in the TCG, so the lines are a little bit different, but that's going to be that. And I also need a couple more Red Dragon Archfiend cards out here too. I just remember that out of that, because there are some cool little Red Dragon Archfiend things that you can get out of here. I'm not naming most of these cards, so we pulled most of these already before at the same time. So 1 ultra rare so far out of the 4. And I don't think I've seen a super rare that I needed yet, because I think there's a couple of them here. One of them is a Power Patron card, and I think the other one is a Pendulum Monster. Crimson Call, Red Hot Nova, Hypernova Dragon. I don't think I have this one, but I needed it. I might have it. Yes, no, the only Red Dragon Archfiend is the Ultra Rare. That's the one I need. I forgot what it's called. I think it's Crimson Blade Dragon. I think it's what that one's called. Or Red Crimson Blade, whatever they're called. I did get a copy of the Crimson King. I actually pulled that too out of my packs. I forgot that I pulled 2 secrets out of my packs. I pulled the Crimson King and I pulled Harmonia. Those were the 2 that I did get out of my participation packs when I participated in the event. So it was really nice to come. Next Ultra Rare, we got GMX Comprex. We pulled this before. I know I have that one already. Don't really care about dinos. Sorry to break your guys' hearts for any of the dino players out there. Dinosaur duelists have a really big fan base, and the dino decks are nice. I'm just not a fan. I'm just personally, I don't like them. It is a lot of gas, no brakes, but it's not my thing. Sorry, I'm just like, I don't mean to disappoint you guys, but I have to. There's just some things I like, and that might be a topic. Well, not a real topic I would have out of unpopular opinions, but it's just my thing. Like, I see the deck, it can be very powerful, it can be a pain in the butt. I'm not a fan. So any dinosaur cards, I really don't care so much about. But so that'll be my second copy of that. Don't really need it. Red Nova Assault Mode, followed by Clown Crew Fleer. Also for the Clown Crew card. I have to learn that deck too. I know it's not a super powerful deck. I think it's a better deck for Genesis than it is for like standard TCG or the standard format. But I heard it has some nasty lines and it does some weird stuff, so I have to study that deck a little bit more too. So if you guys actually played Crown Clue, please let me know in the comments how much you're liking it. We'll see how that one. Obfuscator of Doom Samuel, that's an interesting card, or interesting looking card. Destined, and then that, followed by that. Yeah, so if you play Clown Crew, just let me know in the comments how you like it. That'll be, like I said, I'll end up studying that deck a little bit more too, just to kind of see how it functions, because if it's something viable to play in Genesis and something really nice to play, then I'll give it a shot. But I'll get the cards because the cards are cheap. I don't think there's a single Clown Crew card that's above a super rare in this set, so all of them are like either commons or that. Here's our first secret rare, Exceptional Schedule, one of the cheaper secret rares. This foiling looks a little bit. The foiling looks fine, but I feel like the cards like lacquer is a little bit shinier. It's like almost like a Euro lacquer to it, to a degree. Weird, but anywho. So, but yeah, so yeah, none of the cards in that set are higher than super rare. So like getting the core for that is like dirt cheap. But as do things with Yu-Gi-Oh go, once things kind of get super support and they get really busted, then it goes up in price. But all the other fun stuff. Survey says Darkness Resonator. This is a super I needed. So this is for Red Hot. This is for the Red Dragon Archfiend support. Cover card on that one. I believe you special summon this, you get a second normal summon for Synchrons. So you get to basically normal summon another Synchron for free that turn. And then I think it also level modulates too, if memory serves me correctly. But very nice card on that side. It's very helpful. Helps you get into like your Dissipator lines and a couple other things. So it's just another nice card to have, because Red Dragon Archfiend already gets a bunch of Synchrons out to use for it on that side. Fairy Tale Ball, followed by Checker, and then this is another super I needed. Prohibited Power Patron Portal Terminus. Good for the Power Patron cards. I believe this helps get Medius and a couple other Power Patron cards, but essentially Doomsy, Archmage, and Elf Note can use this, but that is another card. I think I need 3 of those. So that's the first one I pulled between, this is the second booster box I'm opening, it was soon to be third, when I open the blisters, but that is a card I needed. So one less thing I have to worry about getting. So we still have 1 secret rare left and 2 ultras. We'll see what that comes out of that one, followed by Crown Clue Rehearsal is our next super rare. And then also we still have the chance of a Starlight rare as well. We're about halfway through the packs, and we're at half ratio so far, so we're not doing too bad. A lot of times the pulls get pulled to the back because of how I shuffle. So this time it's one of those situations where it's either balanced or they were in the mix of that one. Second Terminus, I need 3 of these, so hey, I got 2 now, perfect. I'm not complaining at that. I'm like, hey, I need 3 copies of this card. You said you needed 3? Well, here's the second one, perfect. Let's see if I can pull a third one out this box. If I don't, I'll probably pull out the blisters. There's a good chance I'll pull the third one between the blisters I open for this or the blisters I open in the next video. I'll probably have all the supers I need in abundance at that point in time. And then Flame Tongue and the Burning Blade. I know this card was in Master Duel a little while. I don't know what it does. I don't remember what deck really uses it, and I really don't care. I'm not seeing it in anything worth me worrying about. So, like I said, it's not a cool tune, which I need to, well, I've played against Cool Tune quite a bit now. That deck is really hard to kind of stop. So it's one of those situations where it's just like, once it's going, it's kind of hard to mess with, but we'll see what happens. It's going to be a meta deck. Miracle Ejector for hero support. I think right now it's positioned to be like the best deck of the format right now. We'll see how that goes. I know some good cards that stop it, but the problem is majority of them are limited to one. Like if you D-shift or a Cool Tune player, that they can just hang it up. But D-shifter's still at 1. So yeah, that's the issue with that. It's just like, yeah, you can, but there's only one copy of it. So you got to get lucky to be able to do anything. This is another super I needed. Volontrium, the Unstoppable Power Patron of Unity. This card is busted. It's a 5,000 attack point, 0 defense monster, but it's a pendulum scale. You basically pendulum scale it, pop itself to get one of the pendulum themed Power Patron cards. So all the Power Patrons have a pendulum themed monster. I believe Archmage and Elf Note are ultras. I already have the Elf Note one and I have the Archmage one. The Doomsday one is a common. So essentially you place this in the pendulum zone, you pop it, you pull the Power Patron card from the deck, which allows you to scale that one and use this effect to kind of bounce back. And then I believe this summons itself. I'm not going to read the full effect because it has 2 different effects for the pendulum scale and the non-pendulum scales. But essentially what happens that, if another pendulum Power Patron card, I think, goes face up to the extra deck, you can special summon that from the extra deck. And it's a 5,000 beater, and then it does something else that gives it even more attack points. So that card is nasty. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's like a game breaker so much, but it is a nasty card. So, and for it to be a super is kind of funny. So that was definitely another one I needed. The Charmer Quantum of Bloom. So this is the Charmer Ultra, the new Charmer Link monster. This was a secret rare in the premiere for the premiere pack, but it's an Ultra in this set. Will go really nice with the Charmer's structure deck that they released not that long ago. So if anybody that wants to play the Element Charmers or add that into that one, it's a nice card to add for that. So very good pull. Still have 1 ultra rare, 1 secret rare getting to the back half of the pull, so we're probably going to start seeing them a little bit more frequently. Survey says Crimson Blade Dragon is our last ultra rare, and I needed this one too. So we are pulling everything that I need, or at least in terms of like ultras and supers. I still need 1 more of the Terminus, but we got 2, and I needed that Viltrumite. So right now, everything else is going to rely on the secret rares, which is going to be the fun part because 10 secrets and most of them are bad, and there's only like 4 of them that I really, really need. So we'll see how we do. Teller of the Fairy Tale, another bad secret rare. So that's our second secret. Not too bad. Still not good for the Fairy Tale deck. I'm not going to say his card is bad. It's good for Fairy Tale because Fairy Tale I think is going to be one of the most busted cheap decks out there since they did unban Fairy Tale Snow effective Monday. But yes, so that is limited to 1 now, but because you needed it for the Fairy Tale cards. Pack Your Hands is the next one out of there. But yeah, so don't know much about. We got to see what decks are cooked out of that one. But like I said, not going to call it a bad card. It's just not the card I'm looking for. And in terms of value, the Blisters actually have a pretty fighting good chance right now. The only thing that can mess this up for Blisters is if we pull a Starlight Rare out of these last couple packs. And of course, it ends up being like one of the good ones. So far in terms of the secret pulls, the ultra pulls are quite normal. I don't think any of the ultra rares are high dollar amounts. Maybe one of them is on the higher side. I have to double check that. I don't think any of the ultras are really that high in value. I think they're pretty like tame. So far in this box, Train Knight Blue Traveler. This is going to be a very modest booster box. So Blisters actually will have a fighting chance. So this actually might be the first time Blisters actually wins, potentially. Now that they still have to pull ratio and a bunch of other things to go with that one, but we're gonna see. We got the last 2 packs. Is there possibly a Starlight Rare? Plunder Power. I might have this one already. This is another one I needed, but I think I already had that one. So I think you only need 1 copy of that, and that's for Doom Z, I think specifically, or it works best with Doom Z. You can, it is a Power Patron card, so it helps pull Power Patron monsters, but I believe it works best with Doom Z. Last pack. This is gonna have a Starlight. I'm not really looking at the edges, so we'll see. Survey says nope. Enea Crab, Outspia is that one, followed by the rest of these. So Blisters has a pretty good chance because we pulled Exceptional Scheduler and Teller of the Fairy Tale. In terms of the Ultras, of course, this is one I definitely needed, and this is one I definitely needed. So not bad on the Ultras either. But the pulls for this were quite modest. So I believe these 2 are probably the most inexpensive of all of the secret rares in the set. So Blisters has a chance. Blisters has a pretty good chance at pulling this one out and doing well. So I'm going to go ahead and clear a lot of the stuff out of the way. What did I do with that empty booster box? Put all the commons in there so that way they're nice and safe. Hopefully don't tip my camera over because I'm already reaching over in a very awkward position. I find it funny that it's like as many of these videos, I just recently started like bumping into my camera and it started falling off and all that other fun stuff. Kind of embarrassing. All right, let me make sure I got all my blisters together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, it's all 24 blisters. The blisters feel so skinny that it feels like I don't have 24 of them. So don't mind me counting it. I'm not counting because I can't count. I'm just verifying it because I'm used to the blisters feeling thicker because of this extra cardboard layer on them. And like I said, I picked them up and I'm just like, do I have 24 packs right here? Yes or no? And yeah. So first blister. For blister versus boosters. Blisters, you actually have a chance for greatness today. This is your opportunity to potentially win and add a W, and oh my goodness, Dominus Spark. First pack, first blister, one of the second most expensive secret rare in the set. Dominus Spark was the first one we pulled. Okay, so in terms of value, Blisters already won, but now we gotta hit ratio. Will we get a second secret rare? We still got 23 more packs to open. But Dominus Spark, the first one, the new Dominus card. And actually, that's probably one of them. That's probably like one of the, it's either the new first best Dominus card or it's the second best. Of course, it's only good in light and dark decks. Most of Yu-Gi-Oh decks, or most of the most powerful decks in Yu-Gi-Oh are light and dark decks. So any other deck that's not light or dark, it doesn't use its effect on, you can't use its effect on that one. So Janita of the Ring is our common. Let me move these a little bit over to the side. Is our super out of there and pull it. But first pack, Dominus Spark. It'll be just wild. I'm just doing my per usual foreshadowing of the future. I'm just gonna just call my shot now. If Harmonia is in these packs, one, not only is it GG's, but it'll be crazy. But yeah, power blisters, anything can be in these packs at a time. So we will Flame Tongue of the burning thing, Tales of the Fairy Tale, and a bunch of other of the random things. We're gonna move this a little bit quicker because we don't have to look at the comments. We only really care about the foils. The foils and the pulls and the magic. But Dominus Spark is a great card. That is a card I did need. That's also a card I would like to not spend $50 on. I think it's a good time to get it now because I know a lot of the sticker shock kind of prices have kind of settled down because everybody's like buying and selling and stuff like that. So it's a really good time. Cool Tune Rotary. Definitely a good Cool Tune card. That's actually, that one might actually be the most expensive Ultra for Cool Tune. I forgot about that. As I knew there's a Cool Tune card in there. I forgot I couldn't remember if it was a secret or an Ultra, but I think that might be the most expensive Ultra. So one Ultra so far out of the 4. So yeah, in terms of value, Blisters is winning right now. All Blisters really needs to do is win ratio, or at least maintain the ratio, because if they maintain the ratio, they win by default. But, you know, we're gonna keep it moving on that side and keep it going. Clown Crew, Malabarazme. I don't recall seeing that one, but we're gonna go and keep it on that side. So far, a really good Ultra Pool and a really good, and a fantastic Secret Pool. Yeah, because the 2 top secret rares is that and Harmonia. Those are the top 2. And I think right behind that is Solemn Accusation and then Regina. Those are the next 2. So those will be the top. A second Crimson Blade Dragon, so there's our second Ultra. Very nice out of that. We're moving on. Like I said, Blisters is over here. It's like, you know, it's just like, usually I have to like get to the meat of the matter. Because a lot of times when I do Blisters, I don't see anything until halfway through it, and then they start like, it starts looking bleak. Like, oh, Blisters has nothing in it, and then out of nowhere it goes boom. All right, here I am. I'm gonna put up a fight. So I'm actually quite surprised that right out the gate it's just like, okay, here's my uppercut. We're gonna go do this right now. But we're halfway through the Ultra Pools. Still, we have one more secret rare to see if we get. Also the possibility of a Starlight rare. That is still a possibility as well. And then another Valdrolius. Great. Only need one of them. You don't need more than one. Like there's no, that's not a card you play set. It might be in the future. I mean, it just depends on what type of support it goes. Because I mean, if you're playing 3, then at that point I think you're playing more of a Pendulum deck than anything else. But that card is definitely not a 3 of. 1 is enough. So 1 is enough for that. So we already got 1, which is great. I needed 1. Clown Crew Rehearsal out of that one, followed by the Predaplant and a couple other things. I forgot there's Predaplant support in here as well. Not a big, and it's kind of funny. I don't know. Maybe the Predaplants are actually decent to play in. I've only seen like maybe 2 Predaplant decks in all of my time playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I know Predaplants came out mostly throughout the time of my retirement, but the only major Predaplant cards that I'm like used to are the Super Poly targets. Those are like the only 2 or 3. We spoiled it. Starlight Rare, Shade the Obscure. This is another one that I need. It's not important, but I forget. I think this helps cheats out Viridium, which helps. This kind of is like a starter for the Pendulum starters, but Starlight Rare. Blisters, A. Blisters got, Blisters won. That's pretty much it, because we didn't pull a Starlight Rare out of the box. So I love how I like Ruxin special into it. I'm just like, all right, here, just slide it, and it was just right there. I'm like, oh, there's a Starlight. But hey, we pulled a Starlight out of the Blisters. There's my third prohibition of the Power Patrons. But hey, Dominant Spark and a Shade the Obscure Starlight Rare, I'll take it. I don't even know how much that one's. I know the secret version of that card isn't worth a lot. It's only like 15 bucks. I don't know what the Starlight version is worth. It might be worth closer to like, if I was a betting man, I'm gonna guess around 50 bucks, because it is a Starlight. I mean, just because it's a Starlight Rare doesn't mean it's gonna be expensive, because if it's not a good card, then it's not gonna be a expensive Starlight Rare. But most Starlights, even on the cheaper side, are sitting around like 30 bucks. But if the card is useful, it may not be the best, but it at least is useful. It'll have a little bit higher value as a Starlight Rare. So I think that one might be sitting around 50 bucks. If you guys happen to know in the comments, just let me know. I'm definitely gonna look it up after the fact, but if you guys just know off rip from seeing it, just like post it. Help somebody else out and make it a little bit easier for them to do. Double super duper polymerizations back to back. Whatever. We still need to see 2 ultras and possibly a secret rare. Regardless, I'm gonna call it, because like I said, even if we don't pull two more ultras, we did pull a Starlight, and since we didn't pull a Starlight out of the box, Blisters will automatically have the advantage because it already pulled the highest rarity card. So we're gonna move on to the next Clown, and then followed by Cool Tune B2B. That was a card I forgot about. I thought, or better, no, that was the Cool Tune card I thought was a higher rarity. When I remember seeing it the first time, I'm like, oh, this is only a super? I thought it would have been like an ultra or something like that, because I thought all the Cool Tune cards in this set were higher rarity than a super. Fortunately, none of them are. Any of them a secret rare? I don't think any of them are. I think the highest rarity Cool Tune is stayed Ultra, because it came out in a deck builder set, so all of them were Ultra rares. There's our third Ultra, Dromaldo the Serpent. This is the Power Patreon Synchro Pendulum Monster for Elf Notes. I already had this one, but this is the one for that one. So we're at that one already. Yeah, the Elf Note one and the Art Mage one are the Ultras. The other one is a common. We already pulled the common one. I didn't make a big deal out of it because we've seen it I've seen it, and if you guys were paying attention and knew what the card was, you've seen it a couple times. If I see it again, I'll point it out. If I happen to pull it one more time, we'll just point it right on out. Next card. Oh, well, there's the one for Art Mage. So there's our ratio for Ultras. So we're already there for Ultras. We got about 6 packs left. We can still potentially pull one more secret rare, or another Ultra, or another Starlight. You know, we can pull anything at this point. But we're gonna keep this thing cooking. We're gonna keep it moving. Don't want this video to be super, super long. We're already crossing the 30-minute time. We're getting around the 30-minute. Another Viridium, so there's a play set of those. Won't need all 3 of them, but that's fine. I'll take them. Also, fun fact, I did get rid of the Starlight Regina. Like the Starlight Regina I pulled from my first box. I traded it to my homie at my locals, because of course he wanted another Regina, and I'm like, look, I'm willing to part ways with the Starlight because I was just gonna sell it anyway, because I'm like, I'll sell it and probably get the, I was gonna sell it and just use it to get the normal supers, normal secrets. But he had some QCRs that I needed, so it worked out really, really good. Second Darkness Resonator, perfect. I did need another copy of that. And then followed by these. But yeah, so yeah, he had a QCR Dark Magician from Rarity Stampede. Was it Stampede? Yeah, it was Stampede. Basically one of the new art ones. He had that he's basically been holding on to me for a little while. And then he also had the alternate art Diabell Star. And it just worked out to be an even trade between the two of them, because one was like 50 bucks, the other one was 90. And at the time, the Elf Note was going for like 150. Fifth Ultra, so GMX 55 experiment. So we are breaking ratio with Ultra Rares. We got, what is it, 4 packs left? 5. This is 5th to last. So we've already broken ratio with Ultras, which is nice. Moving on, I'm getting a bunch of cardboard near my feet. Drunk Signal, Cortel's Night, Clown Crew Serenade, followed by another Journal. So there's the 6. So I got a playset of those now. Awesome. Enough Power Patron support. So we're above ratio on the Ultras. We pulled 6 of them. Generally, I keep the rule that 2 Ultras is worth a secret rare, generally speaking. At least on the lower tier. It's not like it's gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be worth for Jonas Harmonia. Like, no, it's gonna be worth one more secret rare pull, so that way it keeps the ratio together, so to help boost up blisters a little bit. But that doesn't mean it holds up the value. But we've already crossed the value proposition, because like I said, Spark already beat it in value, so I'm not too worried about that on that side. Last 3 packs. Let's see if we can get another secret. Another secret or another Starlight rare would be kind of, if we pull a second Starlight rare, that'd be kind of crazy. But let's see if we can at least get one more secret. Balance that out and just kind of nail in the coffin on the ratios. Anti-GN Experiment, followed by that. And I'm surprised we didn't see the other common Power Patron. I'm just like, if we see it, I'll point it out. Because I'm not going to go through that pile again. I'm just not, sorry. Because like, I know the video's long enough. I was like, I'm not going through that pile again just for the sake of doing it. Don't want to torture you guys any further than I have to. Cortel, Gambling, and Dreadnought Rail Cannon. So the new train, which makes our 7th Ultra Rare. Oh, there it is. Found it. This is the other Power Patreon Pendulum Monster. This one's the one for Doomsday. All right, last pack magic. Can we at least get one more secret? Just one more. One more would be nice. It can be any secret. I could care less at this point. Like, the value proposition's already been beaten. We already pulled the Starlight Rare. Uh-oh, monitor's going white. There we go. Sorry, guys. Last pack magic. What do we get? Come on. Please be another secret rare. There's one more secret rare. And survey says it is a secret. It's a Power Vice Dragon. Good Red Dragon Archfiend support. Not one of the cards I really need. Well, maybe. We'll see, but this is a Red Dragon Archfiend support, and it's another secret. So we have officially, truly broken ratio. Last pack Magic definitely did it. So, Blisters, for the first time in a long time, 1. Because right here is standard booster box ratio. Between these 4 Ultras, 2 Secrets, we're gonna redact the Starlight Rare. We've pulled the ratio, but of course, because it was Blisters, we actually pulled 3 more Ultras. So we had 3 more Ultras than we usually get out of a booster box. And we did pull the Starlight Rare. But not only that, we pulled the second best secret rare in the set, which is Dominus Spark. So in terms of value and pull rates, Blisters won. Blisters actually, and not just won, it just spanked the booster box, because even if I take away the Starlight Rare, I think this is the most expensive Ultra Rare, which we didn't pull any of those in the booster box. And then this is the second most expensive secret rare, which we didn't pull any of the high value secret rares in the box as well. So in terms of value proposition, the Blisters kicked booster box's ass. And then of course, icing on the cake outside of this ratio of ultra rares was the Starlight Rare for Shade the Obscure. So that's gonna do this for this Blister versus Boosters. Blisters won. First time in a long time, and I'm gonna have to, now I'm gonna have to keep an active tally of how many times Blisters won compared to Boosters. Because like I said, I believe this is either the 3rd time, it might be the 4th, it might be the 2nd. I can't remember which other time. I know advocatively the 1 time. I can't remember the other 1 or 2, because like I said, they don't happen so often, so it's easy for me to forget. So if you guys remember, for you guys that have been watching since the dawn of Blister vs. Boosters, you can also remind me in the comments. You can also check out the playlist for Blister vs. Boosters. This video will be in there, and you can actually see every Blister vs. Booster, seeing how all those pulls went and everything like that on that side. But if you did like this video, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a subscribe, hit that bell for when we have more videos. The next unopening video will be essentially the big blister pack opening. I have 50 blisters I will be opening. The last time I did this was for Infinite Forbidden, where I basically just to test to see how well we could pull out of the blisters, which essentially is 2 booster boxes and a little, well, with 2 extra packs to see how those pulls are gonna go. So we're gonna try that again. I've been meaning to do that again for a while now, but I've either just been too late on blind blister packs, or just like the set was okay, it wasn't good enough for me to really invest in that one. So with this set being a little bit more important, a little bit more mellow relevant, and there's a lot more things I needed out of this set, I'm just like, this is a good set for me to do it out of. I was gonna do it for Rarity 5. I still want to do it for Rarity 5, but the problem is those blister packs, I believe, sold out. I don't think Hobbyville's gonna restock them. And it's this point, in order for me to get a high number of blisters for Rarity, I'd have to go to like Targets and Walmarts, and Target has a purchasing limit on trading cards games now, thanks to Pokemon. I don't know why. It shouldn't really affect Yu-Gi-Oh at all, but because Pokemon is a a mess, they put limits on trading card purchases. Best Buy has a trading card purchase limit. I think they only allow you to get 5 of each SKU per day. So I could technically do it through Best Buy, but I have to do it every single day, and that's just a pain in the butt. Walmart doesn't have a purchasing limit, but Walmart won't have enough packs per se, and Walmart doesn't always make things easy for me to purchase stuff. So we'll see what happens. If I can get my hands on 50 blisters for Rarity 5, I will do that video, if that's granted, if I can get my hands on that many. If Hobbyville happens to magically restock them, I will just buy them from Hobbyville and be Gucci at that point in time. But Rarity 5 I know is pretty much selling out like crazy because of the full arts. That a lot of that kind of has calmed down now, but we'll see how that goes in the future. But like I said, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a subscribe if you did like this video. Just let me know in the comments what cards you'd like to see out of them, what cards you're looking for out of this set, what decks you're looking to play out of, and also what more you want to see from the channel. I always like to take you guys' recommendations on what you guys like to see and what you guys don't like to see into consideration. And then of course, let's get those subscriber goals up, because of course I want to do a big video when we hit 1,000 subscribers and do another really decent giveaway. I might do a couple smaller giveaways in between. Oh, I have a story to tell about giveaways. I'll probably save that for another video. But I do want to give some more big giveaways to you guys. We did our first big one, I believe, was at 500 subscribers, where I gave a lot of stuff away. We did some Lorcana giveaways when Lorcana was like hot and popping and scalped. I gave away a Yu-Gi-Oh gift. I gave away some Yu-Gi-Oh booster box stuff, a bunch of Lorcana products. I gave basically like everything in the Lorcana lineup minus a booster box, because I gave out the decks. a trove, a gift set. I think that was it. And then I gave a gift card to somebody. So like a lot of people won in that first giveaway. So I want to do another one when we hit 1,000. So like I said, if you're new here and haven't hit the subscribe button, hit it. But yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff kind of going on in my brain. And it's also late at night for me, so yes. So anyway, it's King Zeph, no time to explain. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.